All right, and welcome back to Standing Room Only. This is episode number 20.
20, Victor. You and I.
Yeah, I know.
This is
Congrats,
your
man.
We got 8th episode.
We hit our Pete Alonso number.
We did. We did.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll be hitting a lot of home runs this season coming up. That's pretty special, though. 20.
But yeah, that's good.
Congratulations.
Let's go into this. So the Mets were in the second week of spring training. The Mets just played a game today on as of March 5th, where we tied 7-7 with the St. Louis Cardinals. Our record now in spring training stands at 5-7-2. I mean, key things to take away from Thursday's game. Rick Porcello got the start. He was pretty dominant. He tossed 3 shutout innings, and he was able to lower his ERA to $1.50. Amongst the Mets regulars who usually play, you have Ahmed Rosario. He went 1 for 4 with an RBI. Pete Alonso went 2 for 3, and then Cano went 0 for 3. And then Luis Guillorme, he could possibly be on track for coming up as a bench player, and he was able to deliver a 2-run single in the second inning. Unfortunately, in that game, I think the Mets were leading about 5-0 until Tyler Batchelor came in, and he allowed 6 runs on
Yikes.
7 hits, including 3 home runs. He didn't walk anyone, but he struck out 2. And then the Mets minor leaguer outfielder Johannesway Fargas, he hit for the cycle, and he tied the game for us in the 8th inning.
Oh, that's good.
Takeaways from this.
I mean, I don't take away anything really.
Yeah.
Right now, for me, it's too early in spring training. People are still working on different things. They're trying things out. It's to see what works and what doesn't. They're not really trying to be competitive yet.
Yeah.
It's the last 2.5 weeks of the season of spring training when the roster is very close to that 26-man roster. When I start paying, and the whole team's traveling.
Yeah.
And we're here, they're, half the starting lineup or whatever it might be. Like, that's when I'll start paying attention. For right now, as much as I hate seeing 5-7-2 and it gives me some anxiety, I have to check myself and be like, it's a lot of minor leaguers and a lot of DeGrom's been great in spring training.
Absolutely.
But, so you can take away things like that because that's consistency, I feel like. But, like, everything else,
Everything else
in
is
a week, I'll start. 2 weeks, I'll start worrying.
It's very much up in the air at this point, and I think it's still pretty decent to see 5-7-2, being that they're minor leaguers in play as well. Everybody's trying to get a feel of where they belong at this point. So,
but everyone else is facing minor leaguers as well.
No, that's true.
I mean, you look. We sit 9th, so we're kind of middle of the stack in the Grapefruit League.
Yeah.
And then, ironically, the Yankees, Miami, and Philly, they're sitting top 3.
Well, of course they are.
Yeah.
I mean, Miami, I don't know. I think Miami was surprising people this year. What was it? You said Yankees, Miami, and who?
Yankees, Miami, and the
Phillies.
So 3 of our rivals, pretty much.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not...
I mean, I know people don't feed in too much into spring training games, which is why we're not making a huge deal about this. But, when you do kind of look at this is the precursors to the season. So
not necessarily.
I don't think so, because I think it depends on how the manager of each team is setting up these games. Mm-hmm. Who they're picking to travel, like how many innings is your starter getting as opposed to these relievers we have no faith in, or they're trying to find their niche, or how quick are you taking... Like, certain guys like Alonso, McNeil playing pretty full games from what I've noticed. But, like, how quickly are you taking this one out for that one out, for Tebow, for this one, for that one. Whereas other managers might be like, let's get the ball rolling on guys we know are breaking camp with us, and we'll see these guys in September kind of thing. I don't know. I think without knowing how everyone else is managing these games and who they're actually putting in there and where they're and what their philosophy is. Some people, George Rojas might be the kind of guy that's like, show that you're winners now, make a statement now. Mm-hmm. Whereas Rojas might be like, work on your form. Figure this pitch out. Figure out how your stance is going to be at the plate and see what works as we go along. So I don't know. I don't think yet it's the precursor. I don't know.
We do have a lot of people that are actually coming off injuries, trying to prove themselves, trying to make a comeback. So I think at this stage of the game, we are looking at, Rojas trying to understand the players, understand where they are and where they need to go. So I think for especially the Mets, the spring training is a lot of figuring out how we're going to be setting ourselves up for success in the 2020 season.
What do you think?
I look at this with a little bit of skepticism because...
Oh, wow. The tables have turned.
No, just because I know the NL East will be very competitive, and I know, like, yeah, you're looking into preseason, it's not much to tell, but you know you're going up against an NL East team, or all of these
division,
NL East teams, this division that are pretty much where you have the Nationals, who, I mean, I believe they're below us in the standings, as well as Atlanta. However, I understand this idea of trying to test out, see what works where, but there has to be almost a sense of urgency for our everyday players to show that they can play well. I mean, it was nice to see Pete Alonso get the surge.
But they haven't even played for 2 weeks, though, either.
Yeah, it's just really...
My thing is that, like, you know, when I see players like Robinson Cano, where he's still 0 for 3, he's struggling, but you know he's going to take up a full roster spot.
Yeah.
And then you have still a little bit of this inconsistency in the bullpen where you have players
that
like
is concerning.
Yes.
That's where I'm looking at these games and being like, well, yeah, the Mets, you know, they're struggling, or not struggling, or they're 5-7-2. But what does this mean going into the first 2 weeks of opening day? You know you're going to have DeGrom be dominant. That's fine. Stroman pitched well. Porcello's doing fine. But now you have these question marks of, is Matz going to perform well? Is Waka going to perform well? And everything to that. So I look at these games, or I look at these box scores, and I try to really see who's improving, who's showing those hot flashes, who's going to be on the team.
I mean, it makes sense. I don't know. For me, it just doesn't make sense to really put too much stock into until maybe the second week, I guess, in March, or third week, just because they're still trying all these guys who aren't going to come north with us.
Yeah.
And that one person, as we saw today, can affect the entire game. But it is absolutely, now you put that in my head, you bastard. now I'm thinking about people like,
of doubt, and it's just gonna bloom.
Like, I'm not stressed enough with this world.
The Mets
but no, it makes sense.
They
because
haven't Mets
Mets
haven't notoriously been great in spring training. That's fine, and I know I could be jumping the gun saying like, oh well, hold on, wait a minute, but if we don't get off, or if we don't have the best roster possible on opening day, and we get off to a bad start, when it comes down to the home stretch at the end of the season,
every game matters.
Every game does matter.
And you're right, with people like Cano taking up spots that are notorious slow starters, and just maybe feels like they're resting on their laurels, that is concerning.
Yeah.
I think I'll be more concerned as we get into the final weeks, because you also have to think about it this way. Rojas is coming in as a new manager, so he's kind of getting a feel for things himself. So we might be seeing, instead of maybe it being the player's fault, it might actually be leaning towards Rojas, trying to get a feel for his management styles. So that's something else to consider, going into it. But I think as we go into further weeks, we should be keeping an eye on how they improve and how they make changes based on like performances that'll make big changes. So it's all about assessing the situation, making changes, and then, capitalizing on it.
Yeah, now, damn you.
All I did, I just put
you're right. You're 100% right.
I put the argument out there because it is a possibility.
No, you're 100% correct about that, and it can be.
It can be several different factors here.
It could be a little bit nerve-wracking. That's all I'm saying.
We're making Sheyne
you're 100%
more
right.
You are entering a division that is very competitive, and you see the fact that Miami's in second place,
which is why I don't worry about it though, but that's why I'm not worried about it, because I feel like
showing up now and not end up showing up later.
You got to think about it. A team like Miami has so many shitty players that they've got a lot of guys who are like, I could break camp. On any of the other 4 teams in the division, I'm probably not breaking camp. I have the chance here to shine. These guys are hungry. There are people at Mets camp right now who know they're not breaking camp. Brett Beatty's not breaking camp with us. There are a lot of guys in the Yankees, they're other in the Phillies and this and the other, they're not breaking camp. But the Marlins players might be like, this is our time to shine. Yeah, whereas other guys are like, I can work on my craft.
Right.
I hope it's that.
Everybody has a different point or different goal in mind when they go into spring training. And like I said, there's a lot of people coming off injuries that they're trying to make improvements. They're trying to make sure that they're, getting things that they need in spring training in order to have success in 2020. On the other hand, you also have people who are trying to prove themselves and be like, I'm worth, being on that roster on opening day. So It's a lot to be seen.
I'm not ready for the stress of the season.
My biggest concern is the bullpen, which is, I think, the concern of the past decade for the New York Mets. And coming into where our position players will be. Those are the two big question marks.
Yeah. Like, I thought about putting a segment of, like, who do we predict? What years are we predicting people are going to have? Who's going to break camp? And I'm like, all right, give it another 2 weeks or so.
Yes.
See what they're actually doing.
I think next episode.
Well, now,
nice
too early to speculate. So I was.
But there is speculation. Well, what do you want to go into?
Well, no. I was going to say into Pete Alonso. He's struggling a little bit. Aside from today's game, he was struggling a little bit in spring training.
Is he in a slump, or is he taking his time and kind of not pushing himself too hard to save it for the season, or is there really a slump that we need to be concerned about?
Look, so I put the topic as, is this Pete Alonso's sophomore slump in spring training? I don't want Mets fans to start raging in the comments, being like, oh, Pete Alonso, you don't know anything about him. All I'm saying is that based on the stats from this year and last year.
Don't at me.
Yeah, don't at me. All I'm saying is this is from yesterday's game. So in the 8 games played, in 24 at-bats, Pete Alonso, he's had 1 run, 4 hits, one double, 1 RBI. He struck out 4 times, and he has an average right now of 167. So he went 2 for 3 today in these games, so those numbers might adjust. Yeah, he might be at 200. Versus last year, a full spring training where in 22 games, he had 5 doubles, 1 triple, 4 home runs, 11 RBIs, 12 strikeouts, 4 walks, and he had an average of 352.
How much of that, though, do we know was in the first week and a half?
A week and a half, that's...
Because while there's 14 games here, almost half of them are split squad.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's not even 2 weeks in. I don't know. I mean, he was not expected to break camp with them last year. So was he going into that mentality of trying to prove himself? Mm-hmm. Is he in a sophomore slump? That's always the fear. Also coming off home run heavy season of home run derby and the breaking the rookie record, and we're always, as Met fans, trained to expect
Hold on.
that our people are going to slump. Granted, not with DeGrom, but we are always expecting them to slump.
Hold it there. But back in September of the 2019 season, fans were actually concerned that he had hit a slump then as well.
He
came back from it though.
He did.
So is this just a momentary blip on his radar and he's going to recover from it? Because even back then he was like, it was a tough go. He feels fine about it. He understood what his problems were and then how to reapproach it later. So is that going to be happening now?
Well, no, he's definitely... I think going into the second year, pitchers are going to figure him out a little bit more.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there's going to be... I don't expect him to hit 52 home runs again.
What do you expect?
What? Have faith.
I know. To be honest,
it is a lot.
I'm looking at 43. 43 homers. He'll probably have 47. More RBIs.
I was going to say 47.
Yeah. 47.
I'd say 43 homers. And then in terms of RBIs, like 120 RBIs. So he could still have an amazing season.
Yeah,
but what I'm saying is that I think there's going to be a drop-off in the home runs.
I think we all know it's going to be a down-to-earth kind of like steady season.
I want to see consistency is what I'm looking for. But
maybe he's just pressing, just wanting to prove himself.
Maybe, obviously, coming into this year, it's going to be 2 things. Are we going to see him be consistent and have decent numbers? Or is he going to exceed his own expectations and go past his goal as of last year? Is he going to do better? Is he going to do worse?
I think in terms of total bases, he'll do fine. I don't expect him to hit the same amount of home runs, but in terms of extra base hits, he's going to probably be a double machine.
Yeah. A double machine.
He's going to be a double machine.
He's going to want to exceed his own record.
I think what he wants... he seems like a fairly level-headed dude with things. I don't think he's going to be looking to beat the record he did. I think he'll be looking to defend himself at the Derby. Okay. But as far as the stats that matter in the season, I think he knows, that's that's a once in a lifetime thing. And if he ever beats it or ties it, great. But I don't think he's looking to be, you know, Roger Maris or Barry Bonds or something like that. I think he's just looking to prove to the world that he belongs here to stay. He's not a flash in the pan. He is the future of this team. He is the future leader of his team because he wants that role. He wants to be the next David Wright. He makes no hidings about that. He wants to prove to the world he belongs. I think.
Do you think he's going to be able to get there?
I don't see why not. I mean, listen, David Wright was special. There's a whole different way of doing it. That
I learned that from Sheyne.
He's special, but can he be his own leader? Absolutely. And I think he's mature enough to know that he needs that. It's just about consistency, and not about breaking records. And if it happens, so be it. I think September was about knowing that like this was in his grasp. This is all the fans have this season. I'm putting the fans on my shoulder and giving them a good season. And so he pressed and he slumped. This, I think he's just a matter of proving himself. And once May comes and he's good, I think he will coast to a very good season, an excellent season, just not a record-shattering season out of maturity. So I think 43, 47, even if it's 40, shit, we will take that in a second.
Yes.
It also comes down to what ballparks are we playing in more than others.
True.
Are we playing in more humidity or less humidity, or you know, what American League ballparks are we visiting this year that change how the ball travels or something like that. Those are stats that will matter. What's the weather going to be like in New York? All that matters. So, and especially who are the balls going to be juiced this year again? Let's face it, the balls were juiced last year. We all know that. Sorry. It's just what it is. Does it detract from what he did? No, because no one else did it. And the balls have been juiced more and more for years. And all you Yankee fans want to be like, well, that just means that Judge still has a record. No, motherfucker, it does not. Because look at the size of that ballpark and look at the size of all ballpark. So you go over there and you enjoy yelling at the Houston Astros, as you should, while you give Garrett Cole a full pass. I digress.
So going into other notable spring training performances. So Jeff McNeil has been playing quite well. So in 7 games, a total of 18 at-bats, he scored 4 runs, 10 hits. He has 3 doubles, 1 home run, 1 RBI, 1 walk, and he struck out only once, but he has an batting average of .556.
I love him.
So are we looking for a positive improvement? What's his 2020 outlook?
Consistency.
I think consistency, but I think he is as the saying used to go, as goes Reyes, so goes the Mets. I think as goes Yef, so goes the Mets. It's going to be between him and Nimmo for the leadoff position. I think it should probably go to McNeil, I think. But there's an argument to be made for both. But I think how he's comfortable at third base. He's not comfortable in the outfield. Is he bad? Yeah. No. Is he good? He's But at third base, this is his home. I think consistency with a little bit of extra something sprinkled on there, and as goes Jeff, so goes the Mets, I think.
And then, so I know you mentioned Brandon Nimmo, so breaking down his stats so far in spring training in 17 at-bats, he has 3 runs, 6 hits, 1 double, and 2 walks with a batting average of .353.
Is his heart healthy? You know about that, right?
Oh, what do you mean?
They took him out of a lineup because he had a heart condition thing.
Oh, okay. It was because...
Oh, I think I saw like he was scratched from a lineup. But
he was, but from what I read, it was because his heart is a little bit too big, so it has to. So
I wonder he has such a...
Not what we meant. Not what you meant. I believe that, though. Yeah. But no, yeah. I mean, but he's okay, though? Like, it's not...
Yes.
It's not going to explode?
I mean, we still expect him to be an everyday player, Brandon Nimmo.
Oh, I think so. I think, I mean, Marisnik and him will probably platoon, but... Yeah.
Well, Marisnik is essentially just a replacement for Lagares.
He is.
That's what he is.
I think he's... I mean, who would, right now, you prefer? Knowing the consistency with which Nimmo gets hit by pitch and gets on base somehow, some way, his patience, his eye at the plate, given McNeil's oomph at the plate with his good eye, who would you... I thought I had that.
Who would I rather have lead off?
It is on my
What's going on? Oh. I would have McNeil lead off. And then I would have Brandon Nimmo be either in the 7 or the 8 hole.
Really?
Yeah.
Hold. So Nimmo returned to the starting lineup on Friday after missing action Wednesday and Thursday to undergo a series of cardiological examinations. There's nothing to worry about. He just has a little bit of a bigger heart. His walls aren't completely, or they wanted to check that if his heart walls were thickened enough or not. So
the reason why I mentioned that lineup is because I hope Brandon Nimmo is alright with this. I hope it's not a big deal.
You and I are looking at each other like Mets fans who know that like the slightest little
slightest thing,
the slightest mutation.
He had the same problem in 2016. So,
but it depends I forgot what his stats were for 2016.
It's an irregular heartbeat. Yeah. That's really as much as it is, and that's not uncommon for most players.
Most athletes. But why do you think it was a bad idea to put Nimmo in the 8th?
Well, you go by the new analytics. Put Pete Alonso at second, but
I would put Conforto third.
Well, right now they've been playing Alonso third, and I mean he's not doing much, sure, but I don't think second's really going to do anything either. I think when you can have two guys whose their on base percentage is phenomenal and they're speedsters, and then you put the power of if you put Brandon, Pete, Michael, Robinson, who else on this fucking team?
Wilson
Ramos.
And then who would you have? It depends.
Who else is on this team?
JD.
JD Davis.
Well, then I would move JD up. That's okay. So let's say so I'm gonna go back. People. Jeff, Brandon, Alonso, Conforto, JD or Cespedes, Cano, Ramos, Rosario, the pitcher. We need to get rid of the fucking pitcher. I'm sorry. I used to. But then I think about you put someone on base and then you have a pitcher coming up, and there are bunting woes over the last few years. Yes, we have one of the best hitting staffs of pitchers in the league, but that's few and far between anyway. And then you're kind of wasting Nimmo's ability to get on base almost. No?
Yeah, I mean he would get fewer at bats, Nimmo, but when it comes down, so assuming the lineup doesn't go 1-2-3, 1-2-3, 1-2-3 in the first 3 innings of the game, when you have after the first inning, the lineups overlap anyways. Yeah. It doesn't really matter who's placed where, as long as you have those 3 guys, and you could expect Nimmo to get on, and then you could pinch hit for whatever pitcher you have. And then you can still try to score.
But then you're wasting a slot, and then you're looking at the bullpen to come in and then take care of business, which is the biggest concern.
Not every single one of our pitchers they're going to go complete games.
But who would you rather have more at bats, Brandon Nimmo or Cano or Ramos?
But there's no way you
or Rosario.
You're not going to put Cano in the 8th hole.
No, but I'm saying he's still going to get more at bats than someone you do put in the 8 hole. Or the 7 hole.
No, that's statistically proven, yeah.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. He's not as reliable of a hitter as someone who's with that on-base percentage who then can be moved along better because the chances are you're going to have a pitcher who's going to bunt and you get good fielders. They bunt poorly. You got the out at second. You got a slow-ass pitcher on first. Whereas Cano may not be getting base hits, but he can probably get it to the outfield, give a speedster a chance to get further along. I don't know. I mean, there's merits to both, and the numbers absolutely support yours. I do like the fact that Rojas isn't playing it that way, though. I got to say, I'm a little old school over here. We'll see which one's out. I don't know.
Yeah, and then another Mets noticeable is
that's Boomer Millennial. I'm not a Boomer, but
Boomer Millennial. That's Eduardo Nunez. So he was a late addition to the Mets before spring training started. But through 17 at-bats, he has 6 hits, 1 double, 1 triple, and 3 RBIs, and he's batting .353. So is he going to be a good bench player? I know he played for San Francisco, Boston as well.
I think with a 26 man, yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. I mean, as long as we're not putting too much on him as we do with all the rental players, all the over-the-hill rental players.
Well, I hope he's going to at least play, or he's going to start at least one game per week, or whatever the case is.
Why, though? I mean, do guys really need this much rest? Why are they so babied these days?
That's what the sport's about. It's not even...
It's terrible.
In baseball, it's like that. In basketball. And
I know. I miss the days when I was growing up with the guys... They fucking went out there. No matter how broken they were, they went out there and they played the game that they're being paid millions to play. Like, there's no reason why if Jeff's having a great week and Ahmed's having a great week, you have an off day coming up. You have an off day coming up. I don't mind him going in there as a defensive replacement for someone who he may not be as good as. They may not be as good as him there, or seeing him. I don't know, maybe a double switch kind of thing with the pitcher. You know, that I don't mind, but starting. I don't know. I
wouldn't be surprised to see him starting in a couple
of
Sunday day games at Citi Field.
I mean, that does come down to like how late the game was yesterday, so to speak. That's very true. Or traveled, or this, that, and the other thing. But if your starters, the guys you're relying on to get you someplace, are doing well. Same thing with Guillorme. Like, I feel like
it's basically you're being stuck between a rock and a hard place because you want to play your really good guys, especially if they're having a really good week. But obviously, you need to give everyone on the team a chance to play.
You said you want to see him start. Do you want it or do you expect it?
I
want it.
I would take back what I said about wanting it. I expect him to start in games because
I agree with that.
It's inevitable.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. Yeah, I do agree with that mentality. Do you think Rojas is going to be that kind of manager though? Because Mickey was very much like Mickey and Terry were very much like they have to have this day off. It's a planned day off. Like why do guys get planned days off 5, 10, 15 days in advance? Feel them out.
Yeah,
I feel like Rojas is more instinctual.
I agree, and
I agree as well.
He did manage, and he came up at the same time as these guys were, so he has a feel for how they play, what their styles are. Maybe Rojas is going to be a little bit more spontaneous with the lineups. He won't be giving these projected, 10 days, day off like 10 days before, whatever the case is. But he will play around with the lineup, whatever the case is. But Marisnik, there's going to be games where probably Nunez and Marisnik are starting in the same lineup. I know that makes you want to hurl, but it's true.
No, you're right.
And
you're 100%
probably
right.
going to be thrown in there as well as a defensive player. But all I'm saying is there are these things to expect.
Come down.
You're right. I mean, and he has to keep everybody engaged, which is true. It's going to happen.
But at least Nunez, I know, hopefully not all three at once. But I think Nunez is doing quite well for himself.
Would you use that 26 man as a third catcher or as a utility?
Utility. Okay. As like an ultra utility person.
I agree as well. Yeah.
Because I think Cano, I'm going to see him play 110 games. Mm-hmm. There is going to be some injuries there. He'll be on the IL with whatever the case is.
Yeah.
But they're going to have to platoon some players, some like Jeff McNeil, Dom Smith. They're probably going to be playing out of position.
Yeah, I think Dom will probably come in. Dom's going to be relegated to the occasional left field start, 8th and 9th inning defensive replacement. And then you see Guillorme and Nunez, whoever's, hopefully they're playing the hotter hand at the moment at second base.
And hopefully Tebow won't come up.
He ain't coming up.
You and Tebow. All right.
Yeah.
Continue with the stats, dear sir.
Or are you?
Oh, there was a lot. I mean, there's a whole bunch of top 10s that we can go through.
Oh, no.
But I figured like those were the most notable ones.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely.
So why don't we cut to the part about Edwin Diaz? I think we heard that he was on WFan mentioning that everyone has their eye. WFan?
She asked me before the show. She goes, "How do you? Is it a fan? Is it WFan? Because I'm like, it's WFAN or the fan?" And she goes,
just go with
on the WFan.
The WFan.
The WFan.
So Edwin Diaz, he was on the fan, and the headline on that was everyone has
the embargo was lifted, or the restrictions are lifted. Like they can go on the fan again.
Oh, nice.
I think JD Davis was on it too.
Yeah, a few people. And Rojas has been on it. I'm glad that restriction is lifted.
So he's looking for redemption entering this 2020 season. Of course, everyone has... It's true, everyone does have high hopes for him. And what are the expectations going to be? He pretty much saying that he's been changing his lifestyle a little bit. He's been eating a little bit more healthy, where he cuts the candy back. He's on a diet, and he hopes that he tries to, he said, try to feel more energy and feel better when I'm playing the game, because if you don't feel healthy sometimes, you feel tired. You don't perform the way that you want, so I started eating healthy to get a better season.
Yeah, he actually was a little bit anxious getting out there to actually pitch. He did mention that he felt good out there, felt a little bit anxious, but it was first time being out there in a real game and facing real batters. But other than that, I felt really good. So, I mean, he feels good. Do we feel good about him?
No.
No? Why not?
No, I'm still worried about it.
He's got to prove himself. He's got to prove himself in the June.
And again, back to the people who need to prove themselves during spring training. They're getting a feel for everything, and they're getting back into their groove. So I think he's going to be one to keep an eye out for and see as we get closer to opening day how he's doing, and really trying to understand what he's going to be bringing to the table this season.
So in 2 games, so looking at the stats, he is 0-1 with an ERA of 9. With 2 innings pitched, he's allowed 4 hits, 2 runs, 2 earned runs, of course, and no walks and 1 strikeout. And players are hitting 400 against him.
Well,
so, Ashley, is this him finding his stride?
I mean, I don't know about finding his stride, but again, spring training, feeling himself out. He may not recover, but this is the time that he has to prove himself, bring himself up.
Now the question is he the closer? Or is the closer position still
at this stage of the game? No.
Is it open?
It's Seth fucking Lugo at the moment, but that's it. I mean, look, I'm retroactively pissed right now, and I will tell you why. Because you're talking about how he's talking about, I'm cutting out the candy.
Sounds like Matt Harvey.
He sounds like Jury's fucking familia.
Can you hit that? Can you hit that for me? Wrong.
I can hit the goat.
It sounds like Jury's familia, who's like, I'm eating better, I'm this, that, and the other thing. Like,
he also is working out as well. Don't forget, things that you're supposed to do.
Come on, you're a
as
pro
an athlete.
Exactly, and you got this huge ass contract, and you thought you were gonna lollygag and eat fucking lollipops when you got to New York.
That is why.
What did you change in the middle of the season when you started fucking tanking?
Hold on.
Now all of a sudden you're taking it seriously, and you still can't get. Okay, give it time. Sure, Sheyne, like you said, wait till for 2 weeks to come. Sorry, Ashley, but like, what weren't you doing last year? What were you doing? The both of you, the 8th inning man and the 9th inning man, and Seth Lugo, the Puerto Rican, had to come in and take care of fucking business for you because you were too busy with a lollipop in your mouth and maybe someplace else, because that's where you need to stick all that money that we gave you last year while you were fucking eating candy. I may be fat, but I ain't on the Mets. And if I was on the Mets, guess what? I'd be as skinny as this millennial bitch right here, who's all sexy and shit. And I would be fucking giving it my all. Yes, okay, maybe it's just a soundbite. You didn't think of anything else to say. Try to prove that you've done something to make yourself better and physically more fit. But you make yourself sound like you didn't care last year. And the only reason we wanted you to come back was because you said you cared, and because, of course, your past of being elite. New York is not a place that you can get away with a soundbite that makes it sound like you just threw your hands up in the air last year. Sorry.
That's why I prepare the way that I prepare.
What, like food?
That was a direct quote from him.
He said that?
Yes, that's why I prepare the way I prepare. He said he worked really hard in the off season, started working out in October. Every time when the season's done, I get a month off of my time with my family, but right away when the season was done, I take the week off and I start working out.
You got a month off
Again,
with your
he's doing things that athletes are already supposed to be doing, eating healthy and working out. Tell us something different. Sheyne, it's
We have wait to see. We'll return probably with our other predictions in 2 weeks from now. We'll see.
If Sheyne is as frustrated, then what about...
You know why? It's because I put those question marks in Sheyne's head at the beginning of the episode. What's going to happen?
But you're right.
We stirred the pot.
Everything you have said has been right, except I think in the batting order. But that's beside the point.
Okay.
I think something else entirely than you. But you...
Okay, Bernie.
No, but like, you're right, though. Victor is coming to the dark side, ladies and gentlemen, because
Come to the dark side.
because he said in some kind of I forget what it was, a tweet or something or whatever. He's like, I'm one season away.
Oh, okay, yeah. So, well.
Tangent.
Do we go into the next segment, or can we just?
Was that revolving around a meme?
It was revolving around.
All right, we'll get to it during Mets
we'll
games.
Get the
Okay.
meme,
All right,
I don't
we'll
want
let's do
to
the rotation then.
All right, so we're up with Matz.
Yeah, we're up with Matt. So Matt's.
Oh no! I'm so sorry, guys.
Is it a girl?
It's my sister, guys. Relax.
It is a girl.
My sister, bro.
I was still right, bro.
What is happening to this show?
Sorry, I thought I had my phone on silent.
Okay. All right, bringing it back to Matz.
Who you take, Matt? I want to take. Yeah, you. I'll take the Yankees segment with that.
Well, what are we doing? Are we going into
the rotation? Let's talk about the rotation.
Starting rotation.
Yeah.
So we have our number one, which is clear, which is Jacob deGrom. In one game, one start, he proved that he was still dominant.
Of course.
Within 3 innings, he only allowed 1 hit, picked it off where he left off with 2 strikeouts, and batters hit just above 100 against him. So he seems pretty dominant.
He gets Sheyne feeling really good.
Going into this, Marcus Stroman, he's playing well. So in 3 games, he's 1-1 with an ERA of 2.79. That is through 5.2 innings. We allowed 5 hits, 2 runs, 3 walks, and has 7 strikeouts. So he's looking pretty good. Maybe a number 2 go up against Noah Syndergaard. If we're looking at Thor stats, he is 0-1 with the ERA of 3.6. In his 2 games, he's pitched 5 innings, allowed 3 hits, 3 runs, and also has 7 strikeouts.
All right.
Still looking good? Yeah, I'll take it. Michael Wacha, he's posted up an ERA of 0 with 2 games pitched so far. He has
which guy is this?
This is Michael Wacha.
No. Which guy is Rocca? 45 or 22? 45?
Porcello's 22.
I don't know who the fuck they look like.
Yeah, and then he's allowed 3 hits, 3 walks, and 3 strikeouts. And you have Porcello, who played today, but based on his stats from yesterday's game, he has... Oh, no, he brought down his ERA to $1.50. He's looking good.
He is looking good.
Yeah.
How's Matz doing?
Looking at Steven Matz. So he has an ERA of 3 in so far 2 games started. He's allowed, 2 hits, 1 run, 1 home run, and 2 strikeouts.
Not terrible, not great.
Yeah.
Looks like Thor. Not terrible, not great.
Still has a lot to prove.
But the decision of who's going to be the actual 5th starter and whether or not Matz will even be in the rotation is probably going to be decided next 2 weeks or so.
Yeah.
Because they didn't quite come out and say it, but they did come out and say it and basically say that Porcello's going to have a spot and it's going to be up to Wacha and Matz to battle out for 5 or who goes to the pen. I mean, Matz looks at himself as being a starter and that's it. He's training himself as a starter and that's the approach you have to have. But how do you feel about that?
Look, earlier, I think it was last week where I saw speculation that the Mets are going to go with an opener and then lead into having either Michael Wacha or Steven Matz play the rest of the game.
Yeah.
So they'll either have Seth Lugo or Gesellman pitch the first 2 innings and then have, suppose Steven Matz in this situation go from 3 to 8 or whatever the case is.
Yeah.
Hoping that one cycle through the lineup kind of settles him down in and he's able to see what his opposing batters are kind of reacting for, whatever the case is. Is Steven Matz now, or say they don't decide to go with this option of having an opener, is Steven Matz going to be the 5th starter? That's the huge question mark looming on everyone's head.
He still has a lot to prove.
It's honestly now between Wacha and Matz, who will take the slot?
Yeah.
Or is Steven Matz going to be traded?
Well, that's the question. I mean, Rojas is like, we have a lot of depth on our roster, and that's one of the great things we have in camp. He didn't want to use the word competition, but they're throwing out that they have depth, and he might be traded because
he might be going to the Yankees.
Well, yeah.
Or there's speculation.
There is speculation.
Speculation.
But a lot of fans are also saying that it's not going to be possible because there's so much depth in the roster right now that trading them at any point would be leaving us open to vulnerable to injuries.
It reduces that depth. But,
Absolutely.
But what's the price? You know, I mean, Severino's out for a year and a half with Tommy John.
That was a big blow to the Yankees because last week they were saying they weren't being very open about it.
Yeah. And now it's like the Mets will look for someone like a major league ready player like Miguel Andujar, you know, which is he can play multiple positions. That would eliminate the need for Nunez or a Guillermo. It would be big for us to have someone like Andujar. And, you know, additional rotation, it should we get rid of Matz, we're going to have to look at people like Walker Lockett or Corey Oswalt again.
They aren't great.
Or, you know, first-round draft picks like David Peterson and folks like that. You know, Lugo could go jump back in, but then if the Penn's having issues.
There's a lot of moving pieces here that just doesn't make it seem like this is going to be possible or something that the Mets should be considering.
But is it worth it for someone like Andujar?
It would be a lot of moving things around and, you know, getting Rojas to feel comfortable with making this switch and feeling comfortable in what we have going on in the bullpen as well as in the roster in general.
Look, I don't think that's a big problem. You tell me, I would want Miguel Andujar to be part of the New York Mets.
I agree.
Tell me why.
And, well, because he's ready for the MLB. That's the thing. Well, considering he didn't really play in 2019, looking at his stats where he did have his breakout in 2018, he played 149 games. He hit 47 doubles, 27 homers, and 92 RBIs. If you get a guy like this who's already proven to pretty much play at the MLB level and all you have to do is get rid of Matz, then yeah, I'm all for this deal.
I understand that.
I agree 100%. I agree 100%. I mean, does it reduce our depth in the rotation? Yeah, it does. But you still have a Waka that can step up. You still have a Lugo that can step up. Or one goes to the pen if the other one has to come in. I mean, it's the fifth starter role. It's important. Every game counts. But the Mets have always been. Have always been this team that's like put so much emphasis on pitching that oftentimes they forget about
everything
what else wins a game. And I think the intangibles that Andujar can bring make up for that depth lost. I would love it.
The only thing is that Robinson Cano, he still takes up that slot. Because say you don't have Robinson Cano, you could put McNeil at second and Andujar at third.
But as you know, he's going to be out a lot of games. Again, and like I said, it gets rid of a Nunez or Guillermo kind of thing, and that's fine. For someone like Andujar, make the space for them, man. Make the space for them.
Well, Matz isn't concerned. He quotes Trump, fake news. And it's not something that he's worried about.
I'm not worried about it. Like coronavirus.
He said, I understand that the New York media and I think Brodie Van Wagenen would contact me if anything was actually going to happen. So he really didn't acknowledge.
That's funny that he thinks that.
Much.
The great communicator that
Brodie.
That BVW'S is. I mean, he has to say that. He's got to be a home player. He's got to say it. I don't think it's going to happen ultimately. I don't. I think the Yankees are just inquiring. At the end of the day, they have all the money in the world to go out there and find somebody else who's a better starter and take it from there. And I just don't think they're going to give up a huge piece like Andujar for Steven Matz. I mean, as much as Steven Matz looks like he'd be the second coming of Joe DiMaggio, which everyone has said since he came up here, but I mean, I don't see it really. Do you think it'll happen?
This trade, no. If I put a percentage on it, I give it a 15% chance of happening.
Yeah, I do too. But you know what? I mean, it could be the second coming of Joe DiMaggio or his doppelganger, which leads us into
the
lightning round. The reason I'm running the board today, ladies and gentlemen, is because our dear and lovely Ashley.
Dude, I was looking at Ashley. I'm like, something looks different about it.
It's my laptop.
And it was the laptop. It finally hit me that it was the laptop. And the fact that I was just like, wait, she's not doing the transitions. And then just
how's it happening?
Like something
What's
was
happening?
Off about the show. And then I realized I was just like, wait, because Sheyne is controlling.
44
well, now
minutes
it's the lightning round. Oh, the special effects. So,
very late reactions.
Very, very late reactions. So, how this is going to work? You have your buzzers, don't you? You're still going to buzz in.
I have the.
So this is a somewhat subjective lightning round, ladies and gentlemen. Basically, I got thinking, celebrity doppelgangers from Mets players.
Yep.
So how this lightning round is going to work is going to be visual questions. I will put up a picture of a celebrity. Mm-hmm. You will buzz in with who you think they look like. And if you get it right, you get it right. If you get it wrong, you get it wrong. I will give you 2 guesses each. Say you guessed and you got it wrong, and you guessing it wrong, you can go again. You can go again. After that, I'm calling it.
Okay.
There's 9 in total.
Okay.
Is this current?
And it's all Mets. It's all Mets who have played or been very relevant and visible to the team within the last decade. They will get progressively harder.
Ashley is going to.
So you have to score early, but you do. You do have a chance. No, but you do. Yeah, all right. You do have a chance to take the last few as well. Okay. I'm keeping it very, very fair. Right. So are you both ready?
I am ready.
Hands on the buzzers.
I'm looking at that too,
yes, right? Okay. Yeah, that's why that's blocked, so you can't see the next preview. The first celebrity is Angel himself. David Boreanaz. Who does David Boreanaz look like on the Mets?
Who goes? I go first.
You go.
Yeah.
Okay.
He looks... I have 2 players, so I'm going to go with Brandon Nimmo.
I kind of want to say Conforto.
All right, I'm going to go with Tim Tebow. Fuck.
Last one.
I don't know.
Who the hell does this guy look like?
Our ace.
Wow.
Oh! Jacob deGrom.
Dude. You know, I'm pretty sure there is a picture somewhere of like his character Angel with long hair.
Wow.
I think that would have been more helpful.
Oh
wow!
I can't give it all to you.
Jacob deGrom has short hair now. Dude, now that I look at it, I realize how dumb I sound saying Brandon Nimmo and Tim Tebow.
All right, you ready for your next clue?
I was kind of like looking at the eyebrows and like the mouth and stuff.
Okay.
Much like Ashley, he has often found himself in the middle. Frankie Nunez.
Oh my gosh. Oh.
Ooh.
Who does Frankie Nunez look like? Victor.
Steven Matz.
Oh, that was gonna be my guess actually.
Dude. In the middle.
Anyone want to take one more guess, Ashley?
Pete Alonso?
Who does this guy look
Porto?
like? Brett Batty?
Porto?
Who is it?
All right, another score for the house.
David
Wright.
Oh my gosh.
How am I...
Hold on. It's the eyebrows, isn't it?
And that smile and those little eyes.
Dude, I'm so mad because after I see it, the resemblance is there.
See, this is a fun and engaging lightning round. Okay,
all right.
This next actor I'm not very familiar with, but his name is Jesse Plemons.
Oh, dude, you know, when I saw him on Netflix, I thought he was Matt Damon because
it's very similar, right?
Yeah, very similar.
Yeah.
What do? Anyone gonna buzz in on this?
Okay. Oh, we started the round. Okay.
Marisnik?
Noah Syndergaard?
Oh, wait. Yeah, that's a good one.
Oh my God! 1 score for Victor. All right, moving on to the next one. You may know him from The West Wing, or you may know him from that show that I can't think of right now, where he plays a detective. Dulé Hill. Who does Dulé Hill look like?
Stroman?
Dom Smith.
Cano?
Wait, did you just say Robin? Oh, Robinson Cano. I thought you said Conforto for a second.
I said, really? They don't look
Who is this guy? So you said Stroman. I said Dom Smith. And then you said Robinson Cano. Then there's...
Oh, no.
Dude, who does this guy look like?
5, 4.
Stop. Give me another 5 seconds. 10, 9. What does this guy look like?
Can I say one just?
Oh my God. I have no idea.
3, 2.
I have absolutely no idea.
Wait. Rosario? Oh. Familiar?
Curtis Granderson.
You know why? Because I'm thinking of the current roster. I got to get that out of my head.
The last 10 years. All right, another one for the house. And Moving on to news journalist John Stossel.
Oh.
Ooh.
Oh, is that
You were literally tied.
Yeah, I'll let Ashley go first.
I was gonna say Hernandez.
Ding, 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 ding. Was that what you were going to say?
Yeah, I was gonna say Keith.
Oh, man. He's a generous man right here.
I am. Nice guy, Victor.
Thanks.
Nice guy, Victor. All right.
This will be my one.
You
point
may
for the
know
whole
him
game.
from the movie Watchmen as the comedian. You may know him from The Walking Dead as Negan. Or you may know him as Denny from Grey's Anatomy.
I loved him as Denny.
As Denny, who does he look like?
Damn.
Look at them eyes. Look at that dopey ass look in his face. What are you looking up? You get...
She's looking at Yo, she's cheating? Subtract the point.
Actually, that wasn't on there, so... I'm actually looking at the current team, so...
Wow, she's been
No,
cheating.
go away.
And we talk about the Houston Astros. Look at Ashley, and she's opening the laptop again.
I have to put my finger anyway, so...
All right, it's blank. I'm keeping an eye on
Wow.
it. Victor, would you like to go?
I would say Steven Matz.
Alonso?
Give me a year.
No.
No, you were cheating. So he gets one clue. This is the
clue.
one you want to be your clue?
Yeah. Give me a year.
You want a year or a clue?
A clue.
He dogged it for us after being our savior.
Dogged it?
He was the hero we deserved.
The hero we deserved.
Hero we deserve.
You make me think about the Avengers.
Or any other superhero, possibly?
The hero we deserve. I'm drawing a blank.
5, 4, 3.
Just give me a year.
2013.
Yeah, that's
2013. Who did we try to sign in 20? Oh, Jason Bay?
I don't even know who that is.
Matt Harvey.
How did I miss this?
Oh my god, he's pacing.
All right.
Wow.
Well, good thing it's still 2-0 Victor. All right.
Wow. How did I miss
You
this?
may know him from kind of The Fast and the Furious, but mainly Game of Thrones. Christopher Hivju.
Is this Zach Wheeler?
See, I would come in and say it looks like Thor. Just because of the beard and
What does
everything
this guy
and the
look
hair.
like? All right, thinking back to last decade.
Who has a beard going on right now?
Who the hell does this guy look like from the Mets? Sheyne is laughing inside because he knows the answer is so clear.
It is clear. This is a fun one, though. Shit. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2.
Man, I don't know this.
You have a second guess? Former Met, now Los Angeles Dodger. Justin Turner.
Yeah, I definitely would have gotten that.
All right, we only have 2 left. Ashley, you had to sweep the tie. You may know him from Field of Dreams or Studio 60 on the Sunset Strip or The West Wing, Timothy Busfield.
Ooh.
Frazier?
R.A. Dickey. Dang!
All right, and the last one, which will count for 3 points, and then we'll go into a tie buster.
Okay.
Have your hands on the buzzers.
What?
Oh, the Wilpons. Yes!
And going into this round with a clear 4, our champion for the first time in the lightning round.
Because he's
Victor!
not going up against you.
Yeah, but this is
I need someone to pick up, man. Where's Hannah?
Pick up the zombie.
Hannah's over there.
So wait, what was the tiebreaker question?
I don't know, but I had to think of something.
Okay, good.
Did you enjoy that round, ladies and gentlemen?
That was really good.
It was
That was
interesting.
fun. See?
That was.
I
that
actually
was
got
remarkable.
Keith Hernandez without any help. That one I was really excited about.
You did.
I'm so
Either
mad.
way, Victor killed you.
I'm so mad that I didn't get the Matt Harvey one.
The Matt Harvey one.
Yeah.
I knew you were going to be like, oh, shit.
The Matt Harvey, man. Looking at those 2 pictures, you realize they do look so much alike.
All right, well, moving on to Yoenis Cespedes broke his season-long silence.
Okay, so first
we should have
off,
had like a pool of how long it would have taken him to.
we
break
should
his
have,
silence.
because at
Right?
first it was not today, not tomorrow, not at all this year. And his reasoning, because I don't want to. And then 6 days later, ta-da!
Oh, whoops, my bad.
Yeah, call the cops because he kind of lied in some fashion. But he did want to tell us that he feels good, he's happy with his progress. Every day he's getting in better and better, but he's not as fast as he wants to be, and we actually got to see that. So,
I mean, is that what he said?
he literally said, "It's not as fast as I want it to be, but as the season approaches, I feel really good right now."
Sorry about that, dude. I laughed so hard when the changes goes.
Did he really say that?
Oh, so that's what he said, and just like, oh,
Damn.
very uneventful.
I mean, we
was
should have
funny.
taken bets like you said, but like, I knew that wasn't gonna last.
Yeah, it wasn't.
It really wasn't.
He's not fast. He's hitting bombs, but we need the fucking DH.
To be honest, I
That's
think
what
he
it
was
is.
waiting to improve a lot or improve in some fashion before speaking to the media. And I
makes
get
sense.
that because we also touched base about this when we heard that he wasn't going to be speaking to the media. And we were wondering if it was because, he wasn't doing better or whether he was or wasn't. But
That's fair. I mean, that's what it is.
He
He's being
does-
honest, at least.
Yeah.
he is, but he's also using his salary as, his motivation to get better.
Oh, yeah, he wants to get a contract next year.
He wants to get a contract. He's good for life, but I also do tend to give him the benefit of the doubt because people want to act like he's been dogging it. Like, he has had legitimate injuries.
Yeah.
That Bohr thing is a freak of nature.
Yeah.
And he was playing through injury a lot in 2016 and 2017.
And he still proved himself then.
And like, you don't have to give up your contract. He didn't have to give up his money. He didn't have to restructure. He didn't have to make a much lower net sum than he is now. He knows New York. He knows the fans are brutal. He's heard it. And so he's giving them what little he can. And I think he also probably realized that what he said of not speaking the season sounded like dumb as fuck.
Yeah.
It sounded very childish of him.
It did.
It kind of almost seems like he was having a really bad day, and the media kind of like bum rushed him away.
It was stupid.
Yeah.
It was immature. It was immature.
Immature.
And so now he realized that he had to come out and say something mature about it. That's what it is.
Yeah, we'll see.
Do you think he'll be ready for opening day?
No. I don't think so. I think the Mets are going to take
I
it
would like to
slow.
have a little faith because at this point he's the underdog, and I would like to see him improve.
That's a no
but-
from Ashley.
Yeah, I'm just like, where are you going?
I
with
had
this,
hope.
Ash?
I had hope, but
Sorry.
I don't. But some.
Yep.
Oh, hello, Hannah.
Oh, now
And
we're going to have
one
Is
person.
she on camera?
No.
Almost. Her head is.
Her head
One
is.
person who is never going to be ready for opening day. Ashley, you found this story. Give it to us.
Oh dear Jesus. So, Brodie Van Fuckface, one of the Mets fans actually decided to Venmo money to the general manager of the Mets because they were really frustrated with the fact that the franchise is failing to spend money on things that we actually need, like, legit players and stuff. Things that we need to have a good season, right?
Look at my pussy.
Oh, we're getting
So,
demonetized now.
Now!
Now?
Can we get monetized first?
Okay, so one fan in particular, 20-year-old Frankie Wilton, sent 1 cent to Brodie. Cent.
I love how just Sheyne and I looked at each other.
I like. I
She
noticed
heard
that.
herself.
No,
Well,
I
then
heard
she
myself,
saw that
and then
we
I-
heard her.
1 cent.
1 cent. With the message
Can
spared.
someone send him 1 cent?
1 cent. Send 1 cent with the message spare change for the poor.
Wow.
Brodie.
That's harsh, man.
Brodie actually was pretty embarrassed because apparently he has never used Venmo before, not even quite sure what it is. He didn't even realize that he had a Venmo account. Now, I call bullshit on this. I don't know about you guys.
with Venmo,
This is actually our first
well,
Mets meme.
yeah,
Oh,
this is
yeah.
the Mets meme.
This is a Mets meme that Ashley created about this.
Sort of embarrassed.
I never use Venmo.
So yeah, Mets. Okay. Oh, well, we're really
Mets
off,
memes.
we're really off cue with this. Okay.
It's okay.
Yeah. Let's go. Mets memes.
Mets memes.
So we're looking at Mets fans Venmo money to GM Brodie Van Wagenen to get team to spend. And what is he saying there in
I'm
his
sort of
speech bubble?
embarrassed. I've never used Venmo. I didn't realize I had a Venmo account. How do you not realize you have a Venmo account?
How do you not realize you have a Venmo account, but somehow you've never used Venmo before?
Well, I don't use Venmo.
But do you have
Do you
an
have
account?
an account?
No.
Okay, then. So at some
I
point,
don't.
he must have gotten an account in some
You know what that
fashion.
says to me? Excuse me, my love, my dear.
It says a
But
lot
can't
of
you
bullshit.
track on
It's-
like Venmo? You can't see people's activity or whatever.
You can unless they make it private.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Anyone you've sent money to in the past or sent it to you, and any friends, you can have friends on there.
Oh, I understand.
But it's like it says that's some rich elitist shit right there to be like, oh, someone must have sent me like $1,000 once, and I forgot about it. If he never, she wants her Uncle Victor. He's probably got $1,000.01 sitting in his account right now. He didn't
Hold
even
on.
fucking know about.
So one thing I didn't know when we created this meme is that he's received around 500 notifications since October of 2018. So this isn't the first time people have decided
Can we make
to
a
spend
Venmo
him
for standing room only and people send us
Right?
just 1 cent.
I mean,
Cents.
okay, so maybe he
Cents.
doesn't have the app on his phone installed on his phone anymore, or his assistant isn't telling him. But you get email notifications too.
Yeah.
Sheyne, would
But who
you
knows, man?
send him some cents?
Send him a
You get
fist
it?
in the fucking mouth for not saying hello to us.
Honestly. All right. What's the
crackers.
next?
The next meme. Yankees announced 2020 bobblehead giveaway.
Oh,
That's
God.
It's the
amazing.
Astros.
I feel like that should be the Astros. It should be captioned the Astros.
That should be their new
announcement
mascot.
2020.
It
yeah,
should
that would be a
be.
good mascot.
We only have three today, and the third one is a standing room only.
Yeah, what's the? Well, let's talk about that one because we
Oh,
alluded it
well,
to
shit.
earlier in the episode. Well, that's the one.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
go back to that one.
yeah. I thought
That's
you
the
meant.
one.
I thought you meant let's talk about that one.
Oh no, we're talking about this.
So Ashley, we want to read the first part.
Sure. Ashley, when she became a Mets fan.
You want to try that again without stumbling?
Ashley, when she became a Mets fan.
Sheyne, I used to be like you, happy and full of life.
And then and we'll post it up at the bottom there. And then I wrote a comment. I think I'm 1 season away from becoming like Sheyne. That was the comment. Yeah, that
warmed
true,
my
man.
heart. That warmed my
Aw.
heart because you overly positive son of a bitch, and I'm just like. He's like positive, man. It's gonna be okay. We're gonna get it together. We're gonna make the playoffs. Last year, he predicted the Mets to win the World Series.
Oh my God.
And
Oh damn, dude, Hannah like drooled all over me.
oh, she loves you. Oh,
I'll get a napkin after.
but
this.
yeah, I'm glad you're getting around to
Yeah.
dark. How long till you become?
I was just
dude,
gonna
it's gonna
ask
take
you
her like a
how
decade, man.
long do you think it'll take me to get to the level that you guys are at? Will I
the
be
level I'm at.
Okay, hold on. Do you think I will be influenced
gotta
by
live
the
a-
two
at
of
least
you
2
to
decades.
get to that point faster?
You're gonna be influenced by Sheyne to get to that point faster.
I think what's gonna get you there faster is if the Mets curse if Conforto and
I had a feeling you were gonna say that.
and Alonso and McNeil and DeGrom, if they all suffer from the like one injury and then they're lingering for 5 years and they're renting over the hill players and that's all you see for the next like you had this taste, this like, oh my God, we have some promise. Oh my God, we have the rookie year. Oh my God, we have the
And
Cy
then
Young.
it's
And then it
snatched
just
away.
goes away. And you just see Fred and Jeff, who never sell the team, sit back with their 500th manager and their 300th new GM, and they just sit back and go with their money. Just like keep counting, and you're like, do something. That will get you there quick. If it happens to the entire team of this team, because you never forget your first love.
Of
This
course.
is your first team.
Yeah.
You're almost there.
I'm almost there. My first love was that 2005, 2006 Mets team.
And you saw that happen to them.
Yeah, you saw it happen, dude. If you were a Mets fan during 2011 to 2014, damn, you hung in there. You hung in there.
We did.
Because
we did.
That was a bad time.
We did.
You got lucky you came in now. You got really lucky.
Came in at a good time.
2015, they made that
like
World
And I came in a
Series
good time in like 85, 86, 87.
And
so
then
like,
you seen the Rocky Road.
I saw that first one, but then I hated baseball in general because of the strike and everything.
Yeah.
It's just I didn't fully understand it, like 13, 14, what the strike was about. But you came in at a good time. I came in at a good time. You came in at a good time. And now look at me. Look at me. Look at that. Look at that nice smile. Fuck that narcissistic bitch. Look at that face. I was like the two of you in one. I had long hair, a chiseled face, and I smiled. Face. And now look at this.
Can we cue your picture?
Horrible, hard. Anyway.
Can we cue like a picture of you side by side of where you used to be and where you are now?
Where I used to be? Oh, yeah, you know what? I got a picture of me and my best friend at Shea Stadium in 1988.
We should post that one up.
At some point.
The before and the after.
Go to our Instagram at Standing Room Only and you will post that picture up. Before we end the show, a little piece of sad news. John Olerud, former Met, his daughter, his 19-year-old daughter, John and Kelly, his wife lost their daughter Jordan last week. The Mets and Jay Horowitz tweeted it out, and she was a very special young lady.
Yeah,
and
she was born with a rare disease since birth, and they've actually created an organization called the JordanFund.org. It was founded in 2003. The fund's mission is to provide support to special needs kids and their families, as obviously their daughter was born with a rare chromosome disorder.
I'm just making a note to put that on the screen, so you guys, if you want to donate, please do. And our thoughts and prayers go to them.
Do go out to
Absolutely.
the family, and hopefully this organization continues to make the difference in children's lives.
Absolutely.
Yes. So.
All right.
But yeah, so
that's
I don't know. We took a bit of a hiatus. Sorry about that, guys. It was like 2 weeks.
We've been doing that though. The 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's just because there's nothing really relevant going on with the Mets, so
we don't want to give you just filler for the sake of filler.
Yeah. But this was a good episode.
It was.
Honestly, I really, really enjoyed the game that we played.
Yes.
See.
Hey, I got one.
You were down like I'm gonna look stupid. I don't want to do it,
dude. I want to look back at the footage. That's gonna be the first. That's gonna be our promo footage that we.
I agree.
Man, I knew it was gonna be fun.
But
guess what? Guess who gets to do the trivia round next week?
Victor.
I got to make it between you two.
Yeah.
Okay.
What should the theme be?
I don't know. We'll see.
We'll figure it out.
It
has to be relevant to his. What is Sheyne thinking about?
I'm not. I'm just.
He's
excited.
Ponder face.
I'm just excited for it.
No, you know what? Actually, we should try next episode. Which I will not tell you. It would be until Ash. I'm only going to tell Sheyne. I won't tell Ashley. So this is going to be off air, and you'll find out next week. I know exactly what's it going to be.
Okay, well, don't tell us.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just came up with it now because I'm a genius.
On that note.
Very stable genius.
On that note, Mr.
Episode 20 in the bank.
Episode 20. Thank you for tuning in.
Stay safe out there.
Yeah. Stay safe from the coronavirus.
Don't wear masks.
Wash your hands.
Wash your hands.
Don't touch people. Don't touch your face.
Give me more paper, Sheyne.
Here, see, you always need more paper.
No, you don't want to have my feet on the other pieces of paper, and Hannah's
like, "What are you doing, damn it?" That's the sweetest picture right there. I'm taking a picture of that.
This is very cute. We'll post that up on our Instagram.
Look it up. Look up.
Is the mic in the way?
Yes, move
You're
the
good.
mic.
All right, everybody.
Oh, wait, let me smile. Come on.
Thank you for watching.
Sheyne, take another picture. I wasn't smiling. I was
all right, I'm gonna take a picture.
With this mic.